So thank you very much for joining me. I'm talking with Kelli Luebke. Did I pronounce it right?
That's actually the correct pronunciation.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I pronounce it Luebke.
Luebke, okay. Who's the business development manager and Meeting Play. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your company and you're one of the strategic partners that I selected to help provide virtual event services to our clients. So can you tell me a little bit about your company? Like, what does your company do? And how big is your company? Where are you based?
Yeah, absolutely. So Meeting Play has been around since 2011. We started kind of as a grassroots event tech company based out of Frederick, Maryland. Our CEO, Joe Schwinger, he came from Marriott previously, but he was actually part of the Marriott team, the e-commerce team that actually started the wayfinding boards inside Gaylord hotels. So event tech background, and tech is really in his DNA, but understanding the event side of the business. So when Meeting Play started, we started mostly as a mobile app and experiential event tech company, doing a lot of event experiential activations through the event platform, different things on property. Over the last 3 years, we've grown 40% every year. This year, we were looking to do the same. Of course, the industry and just the economy has had a big shift, but we are seeing now a full shift in the virtual platform. So our virtual platform has been around really since the beginning of the company. It's always been available in our web-based platform. But in terms of clients really utilizing the virtual platform, it's been the last 3 years. I'd say majority of our clients have used it in the past more in a hybrid environment, with the exception of a few of our pharmaceutical clients using it full virtual. But what our objective in creating a virtual platform is to really be able to take that experience that attendees get at an event and recreate it in a virtual environment. So it's really, wanting to take that engagement that people get at an event and put it in a virtual.
Okay. Well, what I like most about your product and your platform is how flexible it is and how you can add all these different modules. Can you tell me a little bit about that, like all the different things that you can add in and flexibility?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the main factor that sets Meeting Play apart from the hundreds of virtual platforms that are out there is really our business model, which starts with our account management team. So every single one of our accounts is turned over to an account manager. It's similar to what our clients would experience if they were going to a hotel and being turned over to a project manager, convention service manager.
Yeah, I like that you also had some production. You kind of walk people through the whole process.
Correct. So you're not, we understand that a lot of meeting planners out there are not necessarily, they're not tech by trade. And so we're really there to do a lot of the heavy lifting, to guide you through the process, to, set that timeline of when everything is to be delivered by, to make sure that we, launch at the effective date. In terms of the actual differentiating functions within the platform. We have anything from all of the networking capabilities to artificial intelligence, which can incorporate with the networking as well as session selection. So really taking that attendee on that journey and in that experience and creating this environment into which they can feel they're a part of. It's just another element and level of personalization and customization that we really, want to bring to the audience. We also have our virtual exhibit hall, which incorporates a lot of the interactive components that you would find at a live exhibit hall, with your sponsors and exhibitors able to schedule one-on-one meetings with people, group presentations. Those things can be outlined within the booth. It's wanting to take all of those elements that you would get at an in-person conference and encapsulate it into a virtual platform.
That's awesome. And and your attendees see this all in a web-based window, is that right?
Correct, yes.
And can you remind me, I know you can password protect it, but do you also have like a front end, like a website where people can enter and view all the different things happening at the same time?
Yeah, so the way that our kind of registration and launching process works, it's different for every single client really, because it's going to depend on several factors. The size of your event, as well as the differentiating elements that you collect on the front end from registration. So for example, if you have 1,000-person conference, you're collecting all the attendee information on the front end, they're selecting sessions through their registration, and let's say, for instance, you use one of our good partners, Cvent, for registration.
Mhm.
We can actually do an API integration with Cvent, which pulls over all of that attendee data into our platform. It makes it a seamless process, as well as making sure that everything is entered accurately. If it's on the smaller scale, really anything under 500, because of our account manager model, our account managers are able to, receive that attendee list from the meeting planner, usually in an Excel format, and they upload it on the back end.
Okay.
Again, making sure that everything's entered correctly. When an attendee goes to log in for the first time, there's different ways that we can do sign-on. We have the ability to do single sign-on, as well as entering in email and a passcode. Security is of utmost importance for us at Meeting Play. It was around the time that all the GDPR stuff happened, so a couple years ago, we made sure that we were, in guidelines in terms of GDPR compliance. With a lot of clients in the pharmaceutical and tech space, we have to make sure that we're on top of all of those security issues.
Sure. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So now, when you have different speakers working from their homes or from their offices,
Mhm.
how does that video get to you?
Yeah, so depending on the environment of the speaker, if they're going to be doing a speaking engagement in real time, we're pulling it through live stream. So live stream just is the key word of it being in real time. We
Okay.
have several different video hosting platforms in which we partner with or integrate with. Some of our clients already have contracts with partners such as Vimeo, Livestream, Brightcove, Acamia, Ustream, YouTube. Really, those partners are great for us because they ensure the quality of the optimized video and audio that connect with our software. Now, if we have a client that does not currently have a contract with one of those video hosting platforms, our software has what's called a studio, and we have the ability to host those live streams through our studio. Again, just really ensuring that the quality is there and making sure that, there's no delay in terms of when the speaker is speaking and what the attendees are hearing.
Got it. Okay. And I know you told me a little about this, but I just want to get it so, anybody who's watching can hear this. Can you tell me about virtual moderators and live technical assistants and MCs, what you provide in that area?
So from a production audiovisual perspective, we don't currently own any of the hardware. We work with, other production partners. If a client would like to, really be able to resemble and encapsulate what their attendees would see at a conference. So setting up a studio with a green screen and really reincarnating that, live experience. Right now we're working with a lot of clients and, helping them kind of navigate a home studio in terms of using their webcam and audio components that are, available to them at home. So we work in all different kinds of elements. What again, going back to the beginning of that account manager model,
Yeah.
the account managers at Meeting Play are really there to help in guiding the client in terms of talking with the production partner, asking for certain things, to really line them up for success when it comes to starting to do rehearsals with the live speakers. You also go through that entire process if you're also going to do any pre-recorded sessions. So, we really encourage a lot of our clients who have a large number of breakouts to, over the course of a month or several weeks, kind of map out different speakers and pre-record them. From an attendee perspective, they're really not going to know the difference between a live or a pre-recorded because it's still going to happen in their agenda in real time.
Got it. So, but during the actual event, do you have the capability to provide technical assistance to attendees or a Q&A moderator, things like that? Like you have a staff that can help during a live event, right?
Absolutely. So at Meeting Play, we have both remote and in-person technical assistance.
Okay.
That's able to, really help in terms of making sure the back end and the software, as far as the streaming and the production, is happening. So we do have the ability, of course, travel, depending on the travel restrictions,
Right.
as far as going live to that person's location to help make sure technicalities are all being met.
Yeah.
And then during the conference, we also have what we call a remote meeting concierge. So similar to what you would experience at a hotel, Omni has Express Concierge, where you have, or Marriott has their Red Coat program,
Sure.
similar to where an attendee within the platform, at the click of a button, if they have a question, troubleshooting, anything like that, they have, support there. Then from the back end, as far as the meeting planner, while the event is going on, there is always someone there to bless you, to help you remotely. Bless you.
Excuse me. It's just a cold. It's just a little cold.
I know. I heard my fiance sneeze earlier, and I'm like.
Well, that sounds awesome. So you're providing live support during the event.
Correct.
Production support in advance, and it sounds like you really walk the group through the company through the whole process, from
Absolutely.
production through the live event.
Absolutely. We really, we are the experts kind of in this field, and we know that this is new and are uncharted territory for a lot of our clients. And so we really want to be there as a partner that they can lean into and really, count on to deliver and execute a flawless program. There's a lot of people that just think, it's virtual, just turn on a camera and talk. Right. And there's a lot of technicalities that go behind the scenes, just as they would if they were at a live in-person event. Sure. So, we want to make sure that your event goes off flawlessly, just as you would if you were at a venue.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, especially if somebody wants a polished presentation, if they're presenting to clients, or if it's something that people are paying for. Yep. I think a lot of people know how to just turn on a Zoom webinar and just speak, yep. But you get kind of a homemade look to it. And if you want polish and a professional look, you do need it is a production, especially with multiple speakers and live and recorded and breakouts. And, I think it's important to have somebody behind the scenes that's producing that in real time.
Correct.
That's great. So did you have a demo that you wanted to show?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Awesome.
I'm trying to remember. There we go. Okay. Can you see it okay?
Yes.
Great. So basically what happens, and we typically recommend for our clients for them to send out the pre-conference communication, just like they would if they were going to a hotel venue for their conference. Okay. Send out the pre-conference communication about a week prior to the event. That also means that, from a development standpoint, we want to have majority of the platform kind of ready to go before the conference launches. That way attendees can go ahead, and in that email, they will receive information about the conference. They'll receive information of how to log in. If they have any questions ahead of time, they can reach out to us. That email, again, your account manager will help in drafting that pre-communication. And if the client wants us to send it, we're more than happy to, or the meeting planner can send it as well. So with that, they will, log in, and within here, really what they'll be able to do at the beginning is set up their profile. And what that'll do is allow them to, sync it with their LinkedIn if they would like. They can add any additional information that might be helpful for attendees to know. And then one really fun feature that I love about our platform is in integrating it with some of our artificial intelligence tools. So when they go in to set up their profile, it'll ask them a series of 3 to 5 questions. These questions could be something simple, icebreaker, fun type questions. They could be content specific. You know, it's really driven by what the client wants to achieve from the attendees. What those questions then prompt in the system is to help in setting up the attendee journey and experience. So if attendees are allowed to choose their own sessions, some of those questions could be geared towards allowing, you know, them to have certain sessions that are recommended for them. It also will help in terms of networking, which, you know, again, going back to really wanting to recreate that in-person feel. You know, if I was a first-time attendee at a conference and it was virtual versus live, I can't just, you know, stop by the coffee break and have a, you know, side conversation with anyone. So what those questions prompt my system to do is it's telling me, based on the way that I answered those questions, it's giving me a list of like-minded individuals. So these are people that, you know, I can reach out to and start a chat with. I can, it's not in our demo platform, but I could schedule a video chat. So if you wanted to have a one-on-one meeting with one of your peers, you can do that. If you were to click on their profile, you could view their profile before reaching out. But again, it just kind of creates that organic conversation to start, whereas someone might be, you know, a little afraid to reach out in the beginning.
Sure.
There's also other recommendations based on my profile settings and my the way that I answered those questions. So giving me some suggestions as far as a virtual happy hour, networking opportunities. Then it also gives me a list of sessions that I should look into based on my answers. These are all done by different tags that we put on based by the subject matter. There's other ways in which sessions are recommended, and I will kind of get into that, but I'll kind of pause there since I went through the whole profile setup and see if, Kevin, if you have any questions for me on this.
Well, I would love to see what the actual video looks like in your platform, like what the attendee would see during an actual live session or presentation.
Go to. So I went to the general agenda. If you can see on the side navigation, and truly do keep in mind, this entire layout is fully customizable. So as I kind of mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, you know, we developed this platform in-house. We have the wireframe for the platform, but really with all of our accounts, we start from the ground up. So being able to really truly look at the attendees overall, the client's overall objectives and what, you know, functionalities they want in the platform. We believe in, you know, taking an event and building upon it. And, you know, not every one event fits inside a box. So every platform should, you know, help in achieving those goals. So within there's the general agenda or then my agenda. So if I'm able to kind of create my own journey, my agenda would show up there. If sessions have been selected for me ahead of time during my registration, or if the meeting planner has predetermined my agenda, that would show up there as well. When I click on a session, whether it's pre-recorded or live, it would automatically start at that time. Since we are in the demo mode, it does prompt me to continue to the video and hit play. So within here, I'll turn the volume down a little bit. But within here, what's great, and I'll actually mute it so that I can talk, but the video is playing. So if this was a live stream, what I can do within here is I can go up to the top. I can learn more about it. It could link out to a website, to a speaker's site, to more details about the speaker. It gives me different people that are in the session so I could chat with them. There's downloads as well.
Okay.
And then it doesn't look like this session has it, but I will see if I can find one. Most of our sessions have the audience response option. So live chatting, live polling, Q&A, surveys, and note-taking.
Okay.
All of those audience response options are a part of our platform.
That's great. And on that screen, I noticed below the video, there was some exhibitor sessions, I think. Is it possible to list a sponsor there or somewhere on that screen if it was?
Absolutely. Great question, Kevin. So keep in mind on, again, going back to kind of being able to really customize the platform to meet your needs. We work with a ton of clients that have, 100 sponsors, and they need some form of, the ability and a prospectus to offer different options for their sponsors and where they can place their logos or advertisements about them. So some different options that, you can include that is they could sponsor sessions. They could have a 30-second interstitial that plays before an opening keynote speaker. On the home dashboard, you can have rotating sponsor bars. Really, it's kind of the, world is your oyster here, where, again, we have recommendations and suggestions based off of what clients have done in the past. But if, you have a client or a sponsor that says, well, I'd really like my logo or my banner to be here, just ask us. Most likely, because of the fact that we develop everything in-house, we'll be able to work something out for you.
Okay. So how about if, right now everybody's at home. Let's say there were 3 speakers kind of in a panel answering questions from home. Are you able to take the 3 feeds and put them into one window and control what that looks like in that one window?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I don't.
So if there were 3 or 4 people all speaking from home in a panel, so you have video coming into you from 3 or 4 different homes or offices, are you able to take those videos and put them all into one window so that the attendees can see all 4 people on the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
I do not. I'm going to see if so that is what is called our collaborative model.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in our demo right now, but I could pull up a screenshot of what that would look like. So here's an example of our collaborative model. Within the platform, you have collaborative, which is meant to be for smaller to medium-sized groups, great for breakouts, interactive sessions, ask the expert, panel discussions. What this allows you to do, similar to what you would get with some of the other interactive video conferencing tools out there, you also receive within our collaborative platform the option to, have presenters switch on and off, essentially handing over the microphone. You also still have all the same audience response option tools. So taking notes, live Q&A, polls and surveys. You also have the ability within really any of our platforms for attendees to raise their hand. As the facilitator or moderator, you can filter and sort those, hand raises by order of which they came in. So it really helps in terms of answering those attendee questions in real time. What's great about even with the pre-recorded is you can still encapsulate and include some of those audience response features, even though it's pre-recorded, right? The speaker could be on the back end seeing those questions come in real time and still be there to answer them.
I see. That's awesome. So if this can be used for a breakout, this collaborative format, you could go from a general session with, let's say, 50 people, and then split them into breakouts, but then they can then all see each other and communicate.
Correct.
That's
correct.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so with the collaborative, we really recommend 30 people or under, just due to, you know, we don't want to pixelate everyone's images through the video conferencing. So if you really are trying to get, you know, a roundtable discussion or anything like that, where you want to see people's faces and have that face-to-face interaction, we, you know, encourage that for smaller groups of people.
Yeah, I love it. I love how flexible it is. And I love that since you're creating it, or you have created this in-house, you know, these can be removed to make things simpler, or you can add modules for more functionality and more features, which is great. It looks awesome. I think that's enough of a demo just to give a taste of what your platform is like and the flexibility. I think it's really great, and I'm happy that, you know, we have a chance to work together, and hope we can do some things together soon.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we really appreciate the partnership, and you know, I think this time in our industry is a time for everyone to kind of rally together and, you know, keep, you know, of utmost importance, really, we're just trying to, you know, do what we do best, and that is to bring everyone together, even if we're not actually physically able to come together.
Yeah, well, for me, it's, you know, I was doing primarily live events, and this gives me an opportunity to broaden and bring the same kind of management that I was doing for live events to virtual events. And just like I would partner with a transportation company or a DMC or an AV company, I choose the virtual event companies that, you know, I feel most comfortable with to serve my clients' needs. And it's, you know, it gives me the opportunity to add a whole other piece to what I offer clients to take care of their event. So it's all good. You know, I think virtual events are going to continue to be a part of, you know, continue to grow after these couple months.
They are. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've heard so many things in the industry as far as, you know, people, and I'm on several different boards and committees, and, you know, we're looking at our events even for the fall, and we're like, you know, we typically get 700-800 people, but just because the law and the rules around people being close to one another doesn't mean that people are going to feel comfortable. So just, you know, from a meeting planner's perspective, having both options available to your audience, you know, it just brings that level of authenticity and wanting everyone to be included, regardless of, you know, their fear of travel or whatever. So yeah, it's great that we have all these tools nowadays. You know, you think about even 15, 20 years ago, like this wouldn't even be an option.
It's not even, people wouldn't even have thought of it.
No. So
thank you so much for your time. I think this gives a good overview of the platform, and I love that you also you have these production services, which so many platforms don't have. You just sign on and then you kind of figure it out yourself.
Yep, it's definitely definitely a white glove service, and you know, customer service is in the roots of really everyone within hospitality, and especially within the heart and soul of Meeting Play. It's our people, and our people really deliver excellence. So,
well, thank you very much for doing this from your home, and
yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for your partnership, Kevin.
Absolutely. Hope we can do some projects together soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Take care. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.